everyone. Welcome to This Day. It is Saturday, October 17th. On our show today, we have Dr. Shirachny, who is here on behalf of RadNet, and he goes over a lot of different things regarding the offices. And then we are joined by Social Services with Susan Mcinerney, and she's got some great information for us as well. All right, let's go to our resources that we usually have available for you. As we have covid19.ca.gov. We have ochealthinfo.com, and you can also contact their hotline, which is 714-834-2000, and that'll give you all the information that you need regarding COVID-19. Now, our weather today, we have one more day of hot weather, and that would be today. 90 is the high for today, and the overnight lows of 64. And then starting tomorrow, we are going into a cooling trend, 82, 63. Monday, 79, 63 with mostly sunny skies. And thereafter, we'll give you additional information on Monday as to how we're cooling towards the rest of the week. If you are traveling this weekend, you may want to head to the beaches today, 80, 63. Mammoth is a delightful 73. Overnight 30s, Big Bear 74, 34, and then Palm Springs 103 and 70. Now our sunrise this morning was at 6:58 and the sunset will be at 6:14. Now this photo was sent to us by Ellen Clark. He was at a, I believe it was a Legion, I can't remember the name of it, but it was a Legion Post meeting, and Buster is the dog, and the veteran, that is his owner. So I guess Buster really has made this veteran's life just wonderful. So thanks for sending that in, Alan. And if you have a photo that you'd like to share with us of an animal, please send it to Laguna Woods Village TV at gmail.com. When we return, we will have Dr. Shirachny, so stay tuned.
As a friendly reminder, cast your third mutual ballot by using a dark pen to fill in the oval. Place your ballot in the secret ballot envelope. Then, insert into the yellow postage-paid return envelope and seal. On the back of the yellow envelope, sign your name. Mail in plenty of time to arrive before November 2nd. Or hand deliver to the Community Center ballot box by November 2nd. This is an important election proposition. Please vote.
Welcome back. Well, today I am joined by Dr. Shirachny, who is here on behalf of RadNet. Well, welcome, Doctor. How are you doing today?
Very well, thank you. Thank you for having us on.
Well, I'm really happy that you were able to join me today. Excellent. And I understand that you're coming live to us from Laguna Woods facility.
Yes, yes.
Great. Well, let's talk about the facility and some of the things that you guys have been doing over there to help the patients feel more comfortable coming during a time like COVID-19.
Well, we do two types of things. One of them is the stuff that we actually do at the facility, which is on an hourly basis. We wipe down all of the furniture and anything that the patients may come in contact with upon coming to our facility throughout the center. We wipe down all of the clipboards and the pens after every use. All of our equipment are wiped down and allowed to dry after every single patient. Of course, all of our staff maintain social distancing, wear masks, and at times gloves, depending on the type of procedure we're doing, to make sure that patients are completely safe. The other part of the picture is what we do at the time, the screening that we do at the time of patient scheduling and also at the time of the check-in. So when the patients call to schedule their appointments, we ask them if they've had any testing for COVID and any of the tests have been positive. If they have had a positive test, then they cannot be scheduled for a period of 7 days after being symptom-free. And even upon showing up to the facility, we again go through the questionnaire with all the patients, and the patients that who have had a positive test, even if they've been symptom-free for a period of 7 days, we put them in an isolation room. So they're not in any kind of proximity to the remaining patients.
Okay. Now, in talking with some other folks from RadNet, I also understand that there's certain types of protocol for as to how many people you have in the facility at one time, people waiting in the waiting room. How are you adjusting to that?
Yes, some of that depends on the size of the waiting rooms. So at Laguna Woods, we have a fairly large waiting room. We can do as many as 3 patients in the waiting room while maintaining this social distancing. However, we do have a lobby just outside where some patients are standing, and also outside the building. But because we are limiting our scheduling to a level that enables us to have at no time more than 3 patients in these areas, then we usually don't have an issue. Of course, we do have walking x-rays that are not scheduled. So there is a chance that at times we may have more than those numbers, in which case some patients may have to wait outside of the building and get called in once their appointment's ready. However, I think due to overall low patient volumes during the type of this crisis, we are yet to experience a time that we have several patients showing up at the same time.
Okay, all right. Well, that's good. In your experience over the last several months, what are some things that you're finding with your patients? I mean, given the age of our community, we're 55 and over, and so we're some of the highest risk at this time. But now that you're probably seeing more and more people come in, what's some of the feedback that you're getting from them?
Regarding our services, or regarding?
Yeah, or just regarding, seeing a doctor, because I know that they've been holding off for so long and now they're finally getting back into the routine of coming in. What are some of the feelings?
Well, I think most of the physician community in this area are doing a lot of virtual visits. And I think patients seem to be quite happy with that. And a lot of them are planning on continuing to do virtual visits for simple things like getting the lab results back, or doing a simple check on a simple cough. So I think that's something that's going to continue. And the feedback we're getting is that patients are very happy with the virtual visits. Now, as some patients are finding it necessary to be seen live by their physicians more frequently, we are noticing that physicians' offices are doing a very good job of following the same precautions we are, and patients in general are generally feeling comfortable with that.
Oh, that's good. That's great. And as I mentioned before, they were a little afraid to really come in and keep any of their appointments. So going forward, what's some advice for them to make sure that they don't fall behind?
Unfortunately, that has been one of the side effects of this crisis, that patients are so focused on the potential risks of COVID exposure that they've neglected some of their other health conditions that, for many of our population, and more specifically for our senior population, are much higher risk of causing morbidity and mortality for them. And that is something that through education, and I think through outreach by their physicians, we need to get these patients in and address their much more urgent health conditions that at this point seem to be kind of falling by the wayside.
So in your opinion then, obviously keeping their appointments and coming in for their checkups is important, especially if people were diagnosed with something severe, correct?
Of course. Now, they should still do their homework. They need to call the facility, and just for their own peace of mind, make sure that the facility they're going to is following the strict set of guidelines that lowers their risks. But once they're comfortable that the facility they've been seeing is a place that they will not be exposing themselves to unnecessary risks, then by all means, they should be following their physician's advice and following up on all their health appointments.
Okay, great. And in closing, is there any last minute things you'd like to let our audience know?
I just want to again stress on how important it is to pay attention to the CDC guidelines, follow all the guidelines. They are the at-risk population, and even though we are bending the curve and seeing lower numbers, but as we've seen in Europe and other parts of the world, the numbers can very easily go back up. And it is very important that they be diligent and continue to follow the guidelines until hopefully we're past this phase.
All right. Well, excellent. Well, thank you so much for taking the time. I really appreciate it.
I appreciate your time.
All right. And we'll be right back after this.
At our new Memorial Wave Imaging Center in Laguna Woods, formerly Orange County Diagnostics, you can expect the same precise imaging, multiple modalities for your imaging needs, and the same friendly staff with medical providers like Dr. Syed Shirokni. The Laguna Woods Transportation Service offers convenient access right to our door, and we continue to provide the care and compassion that you expect from our new Wave Laguna Woods location.
Under the RadNet umbrella, prostate imaging is one of our most important men's health initiatives. We have an exclusive team of prostate-dedicated radiologists that read thousands of images from all around the globe. These radiologists are utilizing advanced technologies such as prostate MRI, which offers some of the most detailed visual representations of the prostate gland. When it comes to men's health issues, listen to your body and take a proactive approach. Talk to your doctor, begin screening, and take charge of your health.
United Mutual members, here's what you must do to ensure your votes count and are not disqualified due to unsigned ballots. With a black or dark pen, fill in the oval to the right of the candidate's name. Do not mark an X or a check mark or your vote may not count. Place your ballot in the secret ballot envelope and seal. Do not write on this envelope. Insert the secret ballot envelope into the pink postage-paid return envelope addressed to United Laguna Woods Mutual and seal. On the back of the pink postage-paid return envelope, provide your address and signature on the signature line and mail. Unsigned return envelopes will not be counted. Mail-in ballots must be received at the post office box by 11 a.m. on November 2nd. Hand-delivered ballots placed in the ballot box in front of the community center must be received by 5 p.m. on November 2nd. Call the Inspector of Elections at 855-240-0363 if your ballot is lost or damaged to have a new ballot mailed to you in 1 to 2 business days.
Welcome back. Today I am joined by Susan Mcinerney, who is here on behalf of Social Services. Well, it's so nice to finally see you again after all these months. How are you?
I'm good. I was just thinking, I think the last time I was on was the very beginning of all of this. So
Yes.
It's been about 5 months, I think. Yeah.
It has, and nobody thought it would last this long. So it's been really crazy. But you know, you guys are still doing your thing. You're still in business. You're still helping people. And, you know, I think all of our staff is really just modified and adapted and doing the best that we can. So let's just remind everybody what social services is.
Yes. So social services is part of VMS. We've been here since the early 70s, really. Our mission is very different from others departments. Our mission is to help enhance the lives of village residents. And to maintain independence. So what we can do to make your life a little better, make sure you're doing the best you can. And man, have we been doing that a lot recently, helping people figure out what they can do to manage during this time.
Give me an example of how you would help someone.
Yeah, so recently, part of what we do, I'll kind of run through part of what our service is. We do short-term counseling. We do a lot of long-term planning. We do emergency services, which means someone who had a fall or someone who got a scary diagnosis, someone whose husband or spouse, wife is struggling with some sort of physical or mental health issue. We're here to support in any way we can. Typically that's it's referrals and resources to the community at large, you know, what is out there that can help. But then when we bring it in-house, it's counseling from we're all about to be or are licensed clinical social workers. So we have the background, we're trained in therapy. We can't do long-term traditional ongoing counseling just because there's not that many of us and there's a lot of community members. So we tend to stick to focused, solution-focused therapies, you know, what we can do right now to make life better.
Okay. And I guess, so when I talk to other departments, you know, such as senior services, you know, they talk a little bit about the same kinds of things, although I think most of their stuff is really run on volunteer basis. Yeah. So do you run that way too, or do you have a staff?
We have a staff. We have, what's unique about us is we have a core staff of social workers, and we have an intake coordinator, and we have the friendly visitor coordinator that are VMS employees. And then what I find exciting about our department is we have partnerships with Saddleback Hospital, with Council on Aging, and Alzheimer's Orange County. And they have housed social workers within our department under my supervision, but provide direct services to residents. With the focus, whatever their focus on. So Council on Aging is more the friendly visitor program. The hospital is on fall prevention and health. And then Alzheimer's, we're focusing on memory issues.
Okay, great. Well, that's good to know, because I wanted to clarify that you do have staff and people are licensed and that type of thing.
Yeah, in fact, we don't have, the volunteer program we have is through Friendly Visitor, but through the social work aspect of it, we have no volunteers only because we are strictly confidential. Everything we do. I know there's a lot of residents that want to come into our department and help, but it would hinder a little bit if you knew you were coming in to get counseling when there might be, your neighbor might be volunteering in the program. So we try and make it as neutral and absolutely we're confidential in all of our services.
Okay. All right. That makes sense. That makes sense. Now, let's talk a little bit about how you have adjusted. COVID-19, obviously you can't have people come in for memory training or, any other types of in-person training. So how have you adapted?
So in the very beginning, we all went home immediately and worked from home. It's been a few months where we've been working from home. We started to come into the office a little bit now, but we're not all at the same time. There's always a social worker in the office. But through all of that, we've been doing telehealth services. So we are, a lot of what we do is through this platform of Zoom and through the telephone. It's a little tricky. We've been using, for some emergency services, we've been relying more on our security to go out and put their eyes on the situation. And we work very closely with Adult Protective Services, the crisis assessment team through the county. So we work together in that way where they're out in the field.
Okay. Yeah. And now how about coming up? Do you guys have some programs? I mean, I know you said that you're starting to come back into the office now, but I still think residents really aren't being seen in person. Yeah. So what are some programs that you're going to have going forward?
So as I think you've already talked to, I know you already talked to Kathy Delfana, we have adapted the Friendly Visitor program for the Buddy program. So that has been enhanced so everyone still can volunteer and get services through a Friendly Visitor program through the phone. But another thing I'm really excited about is we're working on adapting curriculum for a Zoom support group directly designed for socially isolated older adults. So it's going to be a good one because it's going to focus more on the mental health component. There's a lot right now of anxiety in the air, uncertainty. So we're going to talk more about, give you kind of strategies, hands-on strategies on how to help reduce anxiety, how to take more control of a situation in your life. Everything we're seeing, everyone's anxiety is a little bit higher now with COVID and the elections. We're getting a lot more calls for mental health services than we usually do. So this will be a great outlet for people to have a group of people within the village where they can connect with and get some good strategies.
I think that's a great idea because I think most people, which, I'm not complaining because more people are watching our channel. However, and we're trying to promote positivity and good stuff, but when you tune into some of the other stations, you are looking at an awful lot of negativity. He said, she said, and like you mentioned, the election. So we certainly want to make sure that our residents are feeling good and not feeling isolated or feeling down. And I do believe from some of the doctors that I'm talking to, this is going to be the outcome of COVID-19 is a lot of very upset, unhappy people.
Yeah. And what I find interesting when I think about it is we've done a lot of groups in the history of social services. I've been here on and off for over 10 years. And the thing that I've seen that people do, how they adapt best to aging is to be able to pivot and change and be flexible and understand that not everything is going to be the way that you might have expected it to be, which is weirdly lines up with what we're going through right now too. The same advice applies. So I'm trying to tell people, just take a breath, control what you can control, vote and eat well, take a break from the TV when you can, just take a breather, because I think people are getting themselves so revved up. Yeah.
Oh yeah, my father's 90 and he's about this level of anxiety right
Yes.
now.
Yeah.
So, and you try to talk to them and help them out. It's, like you said, just take a deep breath. It's not going to affect your, your immediate outcome, I think, is what they need to understand. So good stuff. Well, I'm really glad that you were able to take the time to meet with me, and I'm glad you guys are coming back to the office. I think we're all trying to, over the course of the next few months, to get back to some sort of normalcy. So thank you. Good stuff over there.
Thank you so much. And please, if anyone has any concerns, just give us a call. We'd be happy to talk. Yeah.
Okay. Great, Susan. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Take care.
Okay. And we'll be right back after this.
Communities are starting to feel the financial impact of COVID-19, commonly called coronavirus. But we want you to know that there is help. We have disability insurance for workers who are ill or medically quarantined due to COVID-19. Paid family leave is available for those caring for an ill or medically quarantined family member, and unemployment insurance for reduced hours or lost work. We're all in this together. For information on how to stay healthy, visit covid19.ca.gov.
SCAN Health Plan is a plan that is truly here for their members.
Members are the most important thing.
When you call us, you'll always get a live person. That live person is committed to you and your particular needs.
We cover your prescriptions, we cover your doctor, we cover your hospital. You only need one plan.
If you're new to Medicare, have both Medicare and Medi-Cal, or have been diagnosed with certain chronic conditions, you may qualify to join SCAN now. To learn more, call SCAN today or talk to your agent or broker about SCAN.
This election, all Californians will be able to vote safely from home. Every active registered voter will receive a vote-by-mail ballot with a unique barcode. You can track it using Where's My Ballot, and you'll receive automatic notifications by text, email, or voice call to let you know the status of your ballot once you mail it, drop it off at your polling place, or at a drop box. Vote-by-mail ballots. Simple, safe, secure, counted. Learn more at vote.ca.gov.
People with hearing loss only know the way they hear, not how much better they should be hearing. How well are you hearing? Are you understanding 60% or maybe only 30%? You don't know unless someone measures your hearing understanding ability. People are wearing hearing aids that are underfit with power, not programmed properly, the physical fit is too loose or too tight. Find out what your understanding score is with a special word test from Advanced Ear Care. Stop in today and tell them Stuart sent you.
Our movie for today is Stagecoach, and this stars Anne Margaret. And it is brought to you by Kaiser Permanente, and you can see that today at 3 p.m. with subtitles and then 6 p.m. without subtitles. And it is John Ford's landmark Western, which revolves around an assorted group of colorful passengers aboard the Overland Stagecoach bound for Lordsburg, New Mexico in the 1880s. An alcoholic philosophizer, a lady of ill repute, and a timid liquor salesman are among the motley crew of travelers who must contend with an escaped outlaw, the Ringo Kid, which is played by John Wayne, and the ever-present threat of an Apache attack as they make their way across the Wild West. So if you love this kind of stuff, this will be right up your alley. So Stagecoach at 3 and 6 p.m. Okay, a few announcements that I'd like to let you know about is we have a town hall that's going to be coming up this week, and that'll be on October 22nd at 9:30 in the morning. Now, if you would like to email your questions or concerns, they ask that you send it to nomessvoteyes@lagunawoodsvillage.com, or you call in your question or comment at 949-354-4199, and they will make sure that that your questions are answered the day of the town hall. Now, our electricity utility subsidy program is still going on, and you are able to take advantage of that by applying for your electricity costs on utility costs that incur between March 1st of 2020 and August 31st, 2020. And your deadline to apply is October 21st at 5 p.m. And the best way to go about to learn about it is to go to cityoflagunawoods.org/COVID-19 funding. Now, right now, through the next few weeks, there is open enrollment for your Medicare. So the Health Insurance Counseling and Advocacy Program can help by identifying potential cost savings, understanding your personal health care choices, and exploring your plan options. And they'll help you, and they'll prepare a free customized plan. So you want to call them at 714-619-4361, or you can visit coascap-AEP. So that's a really nice service. Now, for new residents who are moving in to 3rd Laguna Woods Mutual or United Laguna Woods Mutual, Wednesday, October 21st at 4:30 p.m., and then for United is Friday, October 23rd at 9 a.m., you are going to have a virtual new resident orientation. So you want to check that out on the Laguna Woods Village website and take a look at that, and then you'll be able to find out all the information about being a new resident. Now, the ballots are out, and the City of Laguna Woods has a drop box for your national election ballots. That's at City Hall, and you can drop them off 24/7 through November 3rd. They're opened through November 2nd, October 30th through November 2nd from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. and then in person, November 3rd, 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. And it is located at 24264 El Toro Road in Laguna Hills. Now, one last thing, actually two things I want to tell you about. We haven't started advertising it until today, is that there's going to be a Halloween golf cart parade. So there's not going to be any celebrations before or after, but look at these great golf carts. Come up with something super fun and super creative, because there will be awards. And that's Saturday, October 31st, starting at 10 a.m. To register, you have to go to ActiveNet under amenities and recreation, and that way you can participate with your golf cart. Okay, let's take a quick look at our weather, and it's looking very nice today. A little hot, so we are starting our cool down tomorrow. Well, actually starting Monday, it's going to be a lot cooler, but nonetheless, today 90-64, tomorrow 82-63, and Monday 79-63. Have a great rest of your weekend. We will see you again on Monday with an update from Jeff Parker and some other great stuff for you. So come back and see us on Monday. Otherwise, have a great weekend. We'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.